Mm. Hey guys, I got a little video. Man, I just made the video basically, but I'm just gonna kind of rephrase it again. It's about talking about vibration and how when you're constantly worried about how your vibe is all the time and how other people are affecting your vibe and stuff like that, and you're always thinking about that, and then you're like, oh, I gotta keep my vibe at a certain place. My vibration has to be at a certain place all the time. What's really happening a lot of times is actually you're making yourself a lot more sensitive to other people's vibes, and you're getting into your head. And what I notice about my own experience is your ego really can take control a lot of the times and be like, oh, you start avoiding people, you start avoiding your family, oh, because the vibe's not right. And that actually, I believe, weakens you, actually. You know what I'm saying? Because then I think about Jesus, and it's not like Jesus was like, hey, man, I can't get around these niggas with leprosy over here. I can't go around all these motherfuckers because their vibe, man. Sorry, man. I'm really just trying to stay in the Christ. You know what I mean? Like he's so beyond like my vibe that like it didn't matter. You know what I'm saying? It's like it's not to say like if there's people that you really just are not feeling the stuff that you should just keep hanging out with, you know what I mean? But at the same time, no, like when you're constantly stressing about that stuff, that's gonna make you more sensitive. That's gonna make you more um that could make you more sensitive. That could make you more less willing to actually act with kindness and all that stuff. But I also understand from the other point of view, if you're healing from a lot of things and you need to get back in your own vibe and realize who you are as a person and all this type of stuff. But at the same time, though, when you get past that a little bit more, and what I've realized more too is just like um, when you're so in your emotions all the time, you kind of not using the mental fortitude to push through certain things. And honestly, sometimes those things can actually increase your vibe because it's like, check it, you know what I'm saying? Like, what if you did like an activity, right? You worked for that activity, you worked hard or whatever you did, and it might have sucked ass in that moment, but then later you get the reward, and that reward might even be a bigger, higher conscious vibration because you went through the motherfucking like you did it, you went through it, you showed yourself, yo, I can do this, I did it, I don't want to do it but I did it. And I'm not trying to say that you should do things that you don't want to do all the time, but what I'm saying is I think there's something to doing stuff maybe that's hard, or maybe that's like and that could even be affirmations and changing your vibe right there, just sitting down and changing your whole entire like belief system. That in itself is work right there. Work doesn't have to be like you fucking doing hard labor or something, but you went through some sort of challenge that you might not have been happy and smiling all the time, because I think that's the thing with like the spiritual community. They think like you always got to be happy, 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 and you get so focused on like I got to be happy, I got to be happy, I got to be happy, that you're actually like you know what I mean? You're kind of just missing out on life. You become so sensitive and stuff and trying to do things that you could be having like you never know, man. You never know like the effect, but I think there's a truth to having some mental fortitude and not allowing that stuff to bother you. And this is just coming from my experience because like what I've experienced with this is that it especially living with somebody who is like really sensitive about that all the time is actually very just like I didn't want to use the word like there's certain words that are negative friends, but then I started to realize I was like, holy shit, this is what I've been being like, and I do not like that shit. It's just like how are you gonna talk about Jesus and all this type of stuff, and then you're over here worrying about everybody's vibe, trying to change the vibe and all this type of shit. You know what I'm saying? It's just like that's not what Jesus would have done. You know what I'm saying? Like Jesus wasn't walking around like, hey guys, like I'm sure he wasn't like, you know what I mean? He went to the desert and meditated like 40 days and 40 nights. You know what I'm saying? Like that was fucking like, you think he was smiling through? Yeah, he was with the presence of the Lord and with Christ and shit, but it's not like, you know what I'm saying? Like when you're worrying about it so much, it can affect you more. It can affect you more, man. And sometimes it's okay to just get dumb and stupid with people, and just like open your heart up and whatnot. But that's like think about it. Like let's say you see like a young man like suffering on the ground, right? He's suffering and he's crying, and you're like, oh man, that guy looks like he's in a lot of pain. I'd help him though, but his vibe just seems so off, you know. But what if you just like went out of your way for like 5 minutes, fuck with your vibe just a tiny bit, and talk from your heart to that person, and you might, you might just affect his day so good that affects you. Now you're like, man, Great. I'm glad I did that, but you have to choose to do that. You can't just do it because like, I guess I should do it. It's the right thing to do. You got to make the choice to do it. And when you make that choice, like, I'm going to choose to spend time with my family. I'm going to choose to be there for the people that love me. And I don't have to be there all the time. I don't have to appease them all the time. I don't have to do that all the time, but I'm going to choose to. And through those actions, that actually is making me happier. You know what I'm saying? That's actually knowing that, like, I'm there for those people, because, like, at the end of the day, it's like, what the fuck is the point of even being here? You know what I'm saying? You just want to go be in a cave and be by yourself and vibrate, high. It's like, fuck all the other people. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's hard for me, man, because I got a little brother. I got a dad. Like, I got like my mom and stuff like that. I have people in my family. You know what I mean? It's just like nothing's ever gonna be perfect. You know. So if you're always constantly worrying about shit like that, it's gonna have more of an effect on you.